Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and let's talk about Jane Doe in terms of the community thoughts, your thoughts of what she is, and let's try to get into it as well. We've posted a pro and cons video on Jane Doe, which we put out on the channel. You can take a look if you're interested for more, whether you are trying to like wait. But let's see what the community has to say, you guys, and I'm going to like do a like super casual reaction. So let's just react to some of the comments here. I've already like hearted some of them, which were really nice. Like two things that you appreciate about our videos. Really appreciate it. Some of you really like the bounce of the characters, really nice, and all the designs of the particular characters, really great as well. Some of the comments that you guys have that add on to like the pros and cons of characters, I think are really interesting. One of them is by Zozin here, which is nice, and we are sorting just by the top comments, so YouTube is ranking the comments based on their own algorithm criteria. Zozin's here, you're the only CC who covers the info that you wanted to know most about her, whether she has a high APM. So one of the key things about Jane Doe, which we talked about this, is she generally has a bit higher APMs, unlike other certain characters that are pretty slow. For example, like he mentioned, Rina, especially if you have like a medical condition or some condition with your hands. I think I had a carpal tunnel also for a brief moment in time. It means is there some nervous problem with like hands. It might be a bit painful, especially if you're spam clicking kind of thing, until you of course recover from it. Some people have it for a bit longer period of time. I hope you're well as well, Zozin, I think you should take care of your hands as well. But this is a huge problem. You don't want to like aggravate any of your injuries, and a character that has high APM might not be suitable for you. How I like to think of characters in Zenless Zone Zero is all of them are really very fantastic. Every single unit has their place to play. Unlike games which are more mathematical, like Honkai Star Rail, which are very, you know exactly what is the amount that you need to like clear this boss. Zenless Zone Zero is very similar to other skill-based games, for example like League of Legends, Dota, where even a theoretically not meta character in the current game state, in the hands of a good player, can become super strong. So that's one of the differences between like Zenless Zone Zero and other games like Honkai Star, which some of you know our main channel is from. This is a very big factor, and if you can't pilot the character well, you don't like it, or maybe you just are unable to because it doesn't suit your style, in that case, don't force yourself to play it, regardless of whether anyone says it's meta or the lack of as well. You really like it can be really strong. So next up we have LKYLan. She will argue that she wants more stun than someone like Ellen because she can instantly charge her passion state. Dodge counters are nice, but get instant passion and the stun multiplier while being safe from damage is also very high. I think this is a pretty solid point. After like trying her out when she went live, the numbers were finalized as well. I think a stun character is really good. So playing together with like Ting Yi, I feel is like very solid because you not only get more reliability of the increase in damage, and Ting Yi can also like proc electric, Unbeat Mara can also proc electric, shock. Together with like let's say Rina, or together with like a character like Grace, can help you do additional damage. So stun, I think in this current game state is very strong, where they have a lot of synergy because of that massive amounts of damage multipliers they get when the enemy is being stunned. So very good, I think, to pair with a stun unit right now in version 1.1. Later in future, maybe Bernice comes out, Caesar comes out, and other anomaly comes out. It might deviate a little bit, but she is a character that plays well into non-stun because you can just keep dodging and doing more damage because you get a lot of that passion that she gets. So who knows? But thank you for your question. I think being stunned right now is probably more appropriate recommendation because of the lack of anomaly characters that you have. Thank you for the clarification too, by LKYLan. Next up, we have Total Win. That choking reader written in the middle of the text got me off guard. Good review, glad sub. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the nice comment too. Never used any polychrome since you started playing, so you're ready for her. Hope you get her as well. Very nice comments from a lot of you. A lot of you seem to like this particular unit too. I'm excited for Jane because I don't have a 5-star DPS yet, and it's been so frustrating. Very nice to have. I just want to share with you some of my perspective as I'm playing the particular unit, which we talked about in another video already. One of the things about Jane that I think is like some people forget is you have a lot of physical characters already in the game, and I don't want you to pull for a character that let's say you already have Piper build, you already have Nekomata build, building like many characters in the physical team, and then suddenly Hoyoverse does their thing and then rotate it to a whole new meta, right? And then we are totally caught off guard. That's one of the biggest things that I think is very important to note. If you are excited, ready for a 5-star DPS, one of the things is of course to make sure that you don't have everything chalked up in like a certain camp of characters. Darwin Hardis, thank you again so much for the nice comment as well. Going all in on here, don't care what happens, very nice as well. Believe her and her best team is Seth and Ting Yi in my opinion. You actually want stunner for her so that she speeds up passionate. Right now in the game state, I think she's very strong. Personally, I like Ting Yi, Nicole, as well as a character like Jane Doe. I find this is like my favorite combination so far after testing her out for a couple of days that she has gone live with the finalized stats, not just pre-release stats, of course, from the test server. Nicole's actually better than I expected because of the defense training and the buffs that she provides, and that burst window actually can be made use by Jane Doe quite well. And I like Nicole, so I pilot her relatively well, I think, in my opinion. So I think it depends, but Seth, Ting Yi probably will be a pretty stable start. You can put in Grace if you do not have Seth. You can put in Rina if you do not have Seth. I think they all work fine as well for in this combination. If you don't have Ting Yi, you can put in Anbi Demara for those of you who are trying to build your team comps of her as well. As someone who plays Nekomata, she feels very similar. Yes, I totally agree. Miller Lite, as you guys, some of you already know, you try her on the trials and stuff, even the story, she feels super similar to Nekomata in terms of playstyle, but she does so much damage in the assault because the assault can crit massive amounts of damage that you can do as well. So similar playstyle, but I think raises the ceiling a bit in terms of the anomaly bang damage. Very, very nice. Seems like the boys on Discord are right. They approve for Jane. Definitely need another main DPS. And if you're not in our Discord yet, do join us in the description below. A lot of us like to discuss, and if you're always thinking like which other character to pull, how to build characters, very nice community that actually helps each other out. So I highly recommend you join our Discord if you're interested. And as someone who doesn't rely on stun will be a massive because you don't have 2 stunners yet. You have to take your S11 and stuff. Yes, I do think that not definitely requiring stun is a huge factor. She can even be played without stun. But right now, I think her best team compositions, because of the lack of anomaly in this current game state, probably stun is number 1, which is why we talk best team comps, we put the stunner first. But thereafter, once we have more anomaly characters in the rating, I think anomaly teams, like triple anomaly teams, will be much better for Jane Doe too. So she has some flexibility moving forward. Thank you so much for your comment, Luna. Really appreciate it too. And at this point, if you're finding value in this video so far, you like this like comment section where we are talking about and reacting to the comments, do let us know whether you want to see more of such videos. I'm trying a new format out on this channel. I know we are very early days, but if you guys appreciate this kind of interactivity, I definitely will put it more. We have a lot of these kind of content on our main channel, which people love on the Honkai Star Rail channel. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we have Apa Nama. Harder to stun enemies will happen, but up to a certain point. To put it into Genshin's parlance perspective, stunners are like in an entire weapon category to emphasize they even have their own weapon. Imagine if Genshin make enemies that are immune to a certain category, not to mention every ZZZ character so far has days multipliers, which means stun will still have a foreseeable place in future. Apa Nama, sorry I'm pronouncing the name wrong, is really talking about how stun will not get power creep. There won't be enemies that are resistant to stun. But all I can say is when there are mechanics in the game, Hoivers likes to break them. Shielders can have penetration by poison, corrosion thing in Genshin also. So anything can happen in Hoivers games, but generally I would say stunning might be a bit trickier on maybe bigger enemies. Maybe they have like stun resistance on their particular monster. Maybe they go enraged. There's this enraged state they have which take less stun damage. When they're out of enraged, then they take like the normal stun. So anything like that, small things like that can happen. So that's one thing that you want to keep an eye out for. In that case, Jane Doe doesn't really lose too much value because she likes to fight very actively into enemies that are wanting to fight her very fast too. So thank you again so much for the comment, Apanama. Really appreciate it. And let's answer a few more here. We have, and thank you so much. You don't need it for the comment too. I heart it already because I recognized it. You have trial her in the trial mission and pre-recognition, higher skill that you care to maintain. She does require a little bit more skill to fight with Jane Doe because of her very, very decent amounts of focus needed on her, likes on field, maybe a bit squishier, but it does quite a lot for that time. You also need to not only care about the boss animation, your attacks, you also need to focus on that anomaly gauge to see whether you're building up the anomaly stacks. So many, many different things to focus on all at once. Criminy Cool will be skipping Jane, going to pull Caesar and hopefully get Lucy C6 in the process, then focus on Lighter when she gets run for Lighter, Caesar, Lucy Com. All the best for you and wishing you well in your pulls. Hopefully you get all of them early as well. And any of you watching this video, you all have my blessings. All of you will get your pulls as early as possible as well. Wish that for you. Let's do one more. We have Russell Pierce. which talking about a stun. A boss that doesn't work as well with stun already exists is 9-Ver on 11-11. My Ellen is geared enough for that. You can almost beat 9-Ver in like one chain window, but not quite. Her stun takes so long to build and lasts so little. So this is a direct question reply to Apanama apparently, because this guy is playing 9-Ver on 11-11 with a lot of debuffs, and the enemy is very difficult to stun. So building Jane Disorder, he's saying, is much better in the fights. So it's like comparing the two different teams, like Jane Stun and Jane Disorder. I think this is an excellent comparison between both of them. If we do have more bosses like that in future that are more resistant to stun, I think a Jane Disorder is going to be much more attractive. But the flexibility that you can choose already tells us that this character is quite a decent pick for all her so-called quote-unquote negatives that she might be playing into like already a very crowded physical space. She is still justified to be like pretty okay in terms of flexibility, even though she's an anomaly character alone. And thank you again so much for your comment. If you are watching to this point, thank you again so much for your attention. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of such videos like this on the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Share this with any of your friends who are on the fence for Jane Doe, or maybe pulled her and share similar thoughts too. Again, see you in the next video.